Take a rest. It's time for tea and cakes.
Harrider Newsflash. Good evening, Madame Herta fans. This is an urgent broadcast. The great Madame Herta, member 83 of the Genius Society, has been targeted in an attack at the space station. Her current whereabouts are unknown, with no group having stepped forward to claim responsibility. Many Heriters are upset at the ineptitude of upper management, having issued strong protest and condemnation.
Mr. Scrollum, this was a premeditated attack.
Conclusion. Their target was the space station, but their strategies are still unknown to us.
That's right. Which is precisely why we need him. The last to lay eyes on Herta's puppet before the attack was him.
And you are?
This is Dr. Ratio of the Intelligentsia Guild, a delegate from the IPC.
He's only just woken up, dazed. He may need a few pointers. Ah, we cross paths again. Do you remember me? Of course.
Mr. Trailblazer, you must have many questions. Please be patient.
You probably know the gist of things already. A few system hours ago, one of Madame Herta's puppets was attacked by an unknown perpetrator. We don't know the location. She's away on a visit. This issue didn't seem to trouble her much.
She received an invitation from the IPC before the attack occurred.
Ah, the technology department. Charming little place, isn't it? Madame Yabuli does possess some semblance of competence, but her subordinates? They want to start some new collaborations with Herta, and have graciously extended an invite for me to play the role of science consultant. It's delightfully... However, this attack was timed a little too well. I can't help but wonder if someone leaked this information, and the attackers seized the opportunity. Herta's a...
I've long heard that you're one of the best researchers in the guild, Dr. Ratio. We are honored to have your assistance.
Save your flattery. Time is hardly a luxury we can squander. To debate the merits of mere mortals in the company of an actual genius? Quite... excuse me, you. Tell me, what were you doing the last time you saw that puppet? Don't play the fool.
I think I was.
Oh, right. I need your help with something else. That curio's gone missing, and I can't just forget about it. Go find it for me when you have the time. Let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's a lot. Send me a signal when you see traces of it.
I think she mentioned something important, but if only there were some hints, then maybe...
Anyway, keep up the good work. I need to go out for a bit. Go ask Asta if you want someone to help you.
My memory is kind of hazy. What did I do after that? This is what I recall before I met Herta, but I can't remember some... Let me try to remember the conversation with Asta.
A curio that's alive but doesn't have a body. Maybe the researchers at the departments of ecology or insight may have an idea? Hinkle and are around here somewhere. I'd suggest you ask them about it.
Asta seems to have mentioned two names. Two researchers from the departments of ecology and insight. I can't recall the other person, but...
Those despicable villains are distorting the truth on... Ugh! If I discover who's behind this... A curio that's alive but doesn't have a body? Oh, nowadays people call them wubbaboos? Well, I might be the Department of Ecology head, but I'm not the most knowledgeable person. Adler would be of more help, but he's been investigating some paranormal phenomenon. I must say, it's a little embarrassing for the space station to be in such disarray while guests are visiting. We've been through a huge crisis and are still recovering. But there are some who are trying to exploit the chaos to agitate the people. Are growing more and more distrustful of the management here. It's probably turned into a big headache for Asta, too. Never mind, I shouldn't be telling you this. It's something that we researchers need to resolve ourselves.
Adler. Right. Then I ran into Arlen. Adler was with him. Adler was with Arlen. They were involved in...
What? He went to the scene alone with Peppy? How could...
Calm down, Brother Arlen. I know you're upset.
We're walking the dog.
We're having a walk. So I'm the dog?
They seem to be hiding something.
Oh, really? What a coincidence. We're looking for him, too. That kid sure is brave, running straight to the scene on his own. No danger. Of course he's not in danger. Brother Arlen, I can't keep this up anymore.
Can you leave the talking to me next time? Let's walk and talk. Why are you looking for Adler? A lost curio. I see. He'll be able to help. careful. The fragmentum in this area is very unstable. Over there! As I thought, he's in trouble. Look.
Don't get careless.
What are you waiting for? To betray my customers? I charge extra.
Now time to stand still.
We're just having fun.
There's more to life. Existence is unity. Naughty child. Relax. Good time. Time to say bye. Boom. Stand still. I'm okay. May as well kill them all.
Peppy! Are you okay?
That's me. What's up?
He wants to ask you something about curios. I'll leave you to it. Adler, Peppy's in your hands now.
Don't worry. I think I figured something out. Catch you later. So, which curio do you want to know about? That's all you got? Too abstract. Well, there's beauty in the abstract, I guess. Have you asked the Department of Ecology? She's not wrong. Now that you mention it, I have a wild Let's call it a day.
Adler seems to have gotten a lead, but... Let's go over it from the start. I may have overlooked something. My memories of Arlen and Adler are...
A curio that's alive but doesn't have a... How's it going? Did you find the information? I see. Is that what Hinkle and think? See? My researchers are... anxious. Me? Is it that obvious? No. After the Legion's invasion, the space station has been under constant scrutiny. Physical damage can be easily... Some researchers have been questioning the management and security of the space station ever since the invasion. Things had settled down a bit with the reconstruction efforts, but the researchers' disappearances have... Yes, 4 researchers have inexplicably disappeared in a matter of days. No way, people were just starting to regain their footing after the catastrophe. I didn't want panic to spread, so I suppressed the reports. However, as you can see, it's hard to keep secrets in a sardine can like this. Rebuilding trust is harder than establishing it in the first place. I'm concerned someone's pulling strings to sway public opinion. Anyway, the most important thing is to get to the bottom of the disappearances. That's okay, but thank you for the offer. Aren't you helping Madame Herta? Oh, by the way, I heard about the thing mentioned, and I'll look into it too.
So I did consult someone else other than Hinkle. The only thing I remember... The other person should be from the Department of Insight. I need to remember who it is. The other person should be from the Department of Insight. Identifying that person is crucial. It could be the key to making sense of everything.
Hey, what brings you here, Rich?
I'm not that wonderful.
It's all taken care of. Here's the account you asked for. It's legit.
Sure.
Oh, you flatter me. I'm just a peddler doing a little small scale. Best left under the table.
Again? How many times has it been?
Here too. My memories are just a jumbled mess. Did my memory piece together irrelevant information? Now I remember. The other person is Emily. She She was at the base zone. What did Emily say?
I say, what a wonder... I'm not that wonderful. No need to be modest. At my age, you get a feel for intelligence. Though, I confess I did hear someone say you were the shining star.
Sure. Can I help you with something?
See this material here? People are so inconsiderate. How's someone like me supposed to make... I'm not getting any younger. And my...
Again? How many times has it been? You're real...
Oh, another smart-looking youngster. Wonderful.
Asta told you to find me? A curio that doesn't have a body but is alive. However, I've heard of such a species. A colleague who came back from a business trip. Don't get me wrong, I was merely relaying information. I didn't mean I'd help you.
The Xianzhou species Emily mentioned seems to be what inspired Adler. The Xianzhou species Emily mentioned.
I figured you'd come to me to uncover... I'm sorry. The situation is very delicate.
Just as I thought. I vaguely remember that Arlen said more.
I'm sorry. The situation is very delicate. I see. Could you also tell that Lady Asta... I'll be honest with you. It's been tough. There's only one clue. Adler observed that the automatic fire suppression system, that means that every victim's disappearance was accompanied by some inexplicable fight. The words they used were...
Have you asked the Department of Ecology? She's not wrong.
Huh? What did I say?
She's not wrong. That's right! They're called Heliobi. I guess you could say that Wubbaboos and Heliobi are... Now that you mention it, I have a wild hypothesis. Let's call it a day. Wait for me. I'll be in touch.
Spontaneous combustion of the human body. That's most likely the truth. I need to go over it from the start.
Let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's alive! Send me a signal when you see traces of it.
I think she mentioned something important, but if only there were some hints, then maybe...
Let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's an energy life form. It's alive, but it doesn't have a body. Send me a signal when you see traces of it. That's not the point. I wouldn't be bothering with it if it didn't have something to do with the Genius Society. Anyway, keep up the good work. I need to go out for a bit. Go ask Asta if you want someone to help you.
I commend your stamina for recounting that interminable tale. You must be exhausted. My ears certainly are. So, to sum it up, the last time you laid eyes on Herta was in her office. She sent you on a wild goose chase for some trinket, the curio. If that's the narrative you're sticking to, then indulge me. Who, pray tell, can substantiate this captivating drop?
Affirmation. We can ask Herta herself.
Well, if you lace up those boots and start sprinting now, you might just catch the IPC shuttle in 4 system hours. But as it stands, not a single soul can corroborate his story.
Mr. Ratio, your style of questioning would seem to have a preconceived bias.
Apologies, it's an unfortunate habit of mine. When one is immersed in academic research, skepticism comes far more naturally than belief. It is also the most efficient method, judging from my experience. Seeking answers with a negative hypothesis in mind is still valid research. If he is truly innocent, he can clear his name with answers. Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you for an assignment.
I remember now.
That's enough pretend. Based on your story, you met with Herta because she's...
If you knew Herta, then you wouldn't find it weird.
Don't interrupt other people. Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you.
I remember now.
That's enough. Based on your story, you met with...
I remember now.
That's enough. Based on your story, and the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name. Herta's collection, an endless trove of trinkets and baubles, and yet she singles out one nameless ordinary curio?
I doubt Herta is interested in the curio itself.
Based on your story, you met with Herta and the assignment in...
Herta didn't mention the name of the curio. However, she did give a thorough description of the curio.
True. You wouldn't be able to make that up.
Why do I feel like I'm being looked down on?
And the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name.
I remember now.
That's enough. And the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even...
I remember now.
That's enough. And the assignment involves Herta's collection, an endless trove of trinkets and baubles. And yet, she singles out one...
I remember now.
That's enough pretending. Herta's collection,
I doubt Herta is interested.
Based on your story, and the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have...
I remember now.
That's enough. And the assignment in Herta's collection.
Sure, but you're the one saying the curio in question.
Say what you want to say.
A correct observation, if I may add.
Herta's collection, an endless trove of trinkets and baubles, and yet she singles out one nameless...
The curio isn't the point. Herta was only addressing it because of its relation to the...
I would imagine the curio is the creation of a genius. Affirmation?
Yes. That seems logically sound. Then you said you asked Asta for help with the lost curio.
Yes, to get more information about the curio. I didn't get a direct answer, but Asta recommended I seek out a...
Then you said you asked Asta for help. However, she decided to hold her tongue and...
Mr. Ratio, it's because...
I'm asking him. Your testimony went out the window the second you started being secretive. However, she decided to hold her tongue until now?
I remember now.
That's enough. However, she decided to hold her...
I remember now.
That's enough. However, she decided to hold...
I remember now.
That's enough. However, so what's the story? Are you full of...
Asta isn't trying to hide anything. It's because of her position.
What could be more important than Herta's safety?
I agreed for Mr. Ratio to become... It's okay. You can tell him.
So what's the story? Are you full of fanciful fiction?
The space station has been very distrustful of its higher management. Another severe incident would further intensify suspicion.
Oh. So that explains why Lady Asta approved of my participation. They wouldn't be partial to anyone, but would still act for the space station's benefit. Researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes, I've heard the responsibility of...
Yes. I ran into Arlen when looking for
Adler?
A level 2 researcher. According to the Department of Ecology head, he knows more about curios.
Well, did he enlighten you?
Adler seemed to have an idea at the time, but he never contacted me again.
Researcher's disappearances, you say? Clearly, though, it bears no connection to Herta's puppet being...
No connection? I disagree. There should be evidence linking them together.
Clearly, though, it bears no connection to Herta's puppet being attacked.
I remember now.
That's enough. Clearly, though, it bears no connection to...
No. If I recall correctly, Asta said, "Don't know the location." Isn't that the...
She did say that. But then what? You need to provide evidence to show...
There should be evidence. Arlen discovered something odd when he was in the space station's automatic fire suppression system was momentarily activated around the time the disappearances happened.
Huh. But there are no signs of a fire
That's what's so odd about it. But this information has an additional layer of importance. This may not be direct evidence, but if the system also recorded the fire suppression system activating, then there's ample evidence to indicate that these two cases are linked.
If these two incidents were caused by the same person, then the suspicion put on you would decrease, provided that this fire suppression record...
We'll see in the main control room. Let's go.
Harrider Newsflash. This is an urgent broadcast. I repeat, this is an urgent broadcast. News has finally emerged regarding the attack on Madame Herta. The Annihilation Gang has claimed responsibility for the incident and warned of further activity. The Guild has expressed utmost condemnation.
The gods of the starry skies have abandoned the world. They give no thought to the masses. Only the wounded savior can bathe the world in the firelight of destruction. Yet always there are cowards trying in vain to reject their favor and escape the wounds. Flee then. Flee as far as you can. No matter the distance, annihilation will find you.
This is...
A declaration of war, and an announcement of what's to come. They have set their sights on you. The Legion's impact remains.
This Duke Inferno Ifrit is a life form that hails from Fatora, a world long since destroyed. His race, the ever-burning fire demons, regard Nanook as their
a group of pitiful lunatics. I like Dr. Primitive's assessment of them. The value Nanook sees in the fire demons have a cruel temper and instinctively ignite and destroy items.
Japella Brotherhood? I've heard that name somewhere.
On the Stellaron Hunters' wanted posters, they stand accused of inciting the Japella Rebellion, the uprising that caused the downfall of the
Japella Palace crumbled in the scorching flames, and Ifrit's power has grown by the day. Something similar is about to happen here. Spontaneous combustion? That video will soon circulate. And the
destruction of...
I'm afraid more than trust. You need to start acting now if you want to survive. You have a superior strategy? Pray tell, do we set the two of them loose, turning...
If we did that, we'd be at a disadvantage. I'll stay here and try to contain the news as best I can. Please, investigate the issue quickly.
Take a rest. It's time for tea and cakes.
Not good. This is serious. The security department will do—
A list of the missing researchers and their details.
Sure, but the security department already combed through their backgrounds and personal relationships. We didn't find anything odd.
A list of the missing researchers and their...
Okay.
Take it. Remember these names. Find a friend who's tuned into the gossip around here and tell them you want to know the relationship. I don't know. That depends on your...
What else do you need me to do?
Take me to the one who knows the most about curios within the Department of Ecology, if you would be so kind.
He disappeared too. I didn't really notice at first. Adler's difficult to get a hold of at the best, but it's been a few system hours and I still can't reach him. The last time I saw him was in the master control zone. He was with
Lead the way. You said Adler was on the verge of if his disappearance is also related to the case.
True. The keywords that got Adler thinking were energy light. We need to investigate this.
Welcome to Herta Space Station.
That jerk! Jerk! Fine! Disappear! I don't ever want to see your... Adler, he's been acting really weird recently. Always researching stuff like he doesn't even answer me when I speak to him. He would...
What did he talk about?
He kept saying the word phrase.
Phrase.
Who said I want him back? But if you want to find him, he was reading... I don't know exactly what he's searching for.
Your countenance. So the researchers who disappeared were at the forefront of challenging management. Isn't that... I finished browsing through this booklet while you were replying to messages. It recorded the lives of a few genius society... It's time to go back and chat with Lady Asta and Mr. Skrull.
Nap time. Stand still.
Eternal.
May as well kill them all. Good times. Time to say bye. Boom.
More business, eh? What are you waiting for? To betray my customers? I charge extra.
Say bye to breathing.
You're back. I've been monitoring the dark web. I barely managed to stop the video from spreading.
Less than promising. We're running out of time. Let's retrace our steps. First, Adler's disappearance. He must have come across some
Adler also.
You think that Adler's discovery...
Indeed. And I already know what... First, the next angle is what the victims have in common.
Distasteful discussion.
A mere glance at their background would indicate they however, after browsing through their online records, you discover they all wield Lady Asta must know. The next angle, last, is the abilities of Duke Inferno. You probably already know about the fire demon of Fatora. The Duke, last, is the abilities of Duke Inferno and...
I understand.
Tenuous last is the abilities of...
I understand.
Tenuous last is the abilities of Duke During prior unrest, the flickering tongues of Duke Inferno's fire carrying us... Look. This booklet describes a kind of fire that can phase through dimensions, claiming it burns...
I understand.
Tenuous... This booklet describes a kind of fire that can...
I understand.
Tenuous... This booklet describes the kindling of this unique flame must be the missing curio that Hurt has been searching.
Somebody was once able to glimpse the traces of the phase flame. If Ifrit is a scion of the phase flame...
The kindling of this unique flame
I understand.
Tenuous connection. The kindling of this unique... I fear that this is the truth Adler discovered. Undoubtedly, the curio Herta asked to find, and Adler already discovered the relationship between... I fear that this is the truth Adler discovered.
I understand.
Tenuous connect... I fear that this is the truth Adler discovered. When Schurling said... I believe this word was actually... As a scion of the phase flame, Duke Inferno would... That is the truth of the spontaneous human combustion. We don't know where the victims went, but Duke Inferno's plan is... And the sudden and consecutive disappearances provided the best environment for chaos to fester. Once the seed of unrest has sprouted, he will then send out an announcement for an imminent attack. The next step would be to ignite the spark. Look at those researchers who disappeared. What would happen if someone realized their similarities? I need say no more.
It was all a premeditated trap to stir up chaos on the space station.
We're running out of time.
This...
No, it isn't enough.
Indeed, it needs one more spark.
What do you mean?
If you limit your involvement to this, there's still room for excuses. If it were me, I wouldn't give you the chance.
Could it be?
Huh? What is it?
Stay calm. Asta was merely teleport. Based on first-hand experience, I have ascertained that Ifrit's flame is simply a splinter of the primordial phase flame, lacking any phase shift ability.
That flame must still be somewhere inside the station.
A splinter, you say? There, try then if you must.
It seems that Duke Inferno didn't deign to personally grace the space station. He merely cast infernal fire into our midst to wreak havoc among the researchers. When the fire...
I will head to Herta's office and activate the folded space in the curio storage room. With some changes to its parameters, I can use it to block the fire's teleportation routes and seal it inside the station. Mr. Ratio, please go with Mr. Trailblazer and contain the fire.
Infernal fire is also a form of energy life form. The imaging device will pick up its trace. Follow it. The way is awash with flames. I must be careful. Get ready to dash into the fire. See? It's still in the space station. Like Skrullum said, it cannot... Do you know what to do with cornered prey? Hunt it to the...
The fire is done.
It's still resisting. The fold in the space has...
Enjoying yourself?
Answer me!
That'll take more than medicine. That's better.
So this is the warp eternal. All will be swept away by the wind.
Your answers?
Stand still.
Enjoying yourself?
Time for a shot.
The flame is getting weaker. Duke Inferno... For the theater of the mediocre. Mediocre. Test. 0 points.
I'm okay. Nap time. Relax. Existence is unity.
Good times. Time to say bye. Boom.
Seems like this chase. It's over.
Ignorant fools blindly chasing the fuck. It is little wonder that even the descent of the Savior's Legion. But next time, expect no...
A small fragment of consciousness in there. Oh? Ah, the banal theatrics of stalling. Let's not, shall we?
Killing yourself? I'm first shot.
Stand still.
There's more to life. Eternal.
May as well kill them all.
Every petal in life, all will be swept away by the wind.
Knowledge is the measure of all things. It reveals truth and falsehood.
That'll take more than medicine. Nap time.
Fail.
Relax.
0 points.
Good times. Now time to say bye. Boom. Stand still.
So this is the extent of miscreants materializing from the Inferno. Seems like Dr. Primitive wasn't wrong.
Come in it.
Naughty child.
Good times. Time to say bye. Boom.
Your fire is weakening. It's preparing to flee. You, keep your eye out for Lady Asta's whereabouts.
Merciful Medicus!
Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Not bad.
Good times.
5 points.
Time to say bye. Boom. Stand still.
I'm asking questions. Test.
Secret of the safe!
Now,
Relax.
Some value, I suppose. Eternal.
Mediocre. Your answers?
Say bye to breathing. Good times. Time to say bye. Boom.
time for a shot.
Stand still.
Every petal, all will be swept away by the wind.
Answer me. 0 points. SAS knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood.
Good work. You did very well. Rest assured, Asta only had a fright. While you were chasing the enemy, the security department also found the missing researchers. Affirmation. It was all thanks. They fell into a spatial curio and could not leave until the Department of Ecology's most knowledgeable. Many of them were shaken by their experience when Arlen found them. But they... Yes, it is over. This business is over, and I believe the space station will be able to deal with it. But there is one mystery, and that is something I must deal with myself. I've been waiting.
Fallout from this incident remains. Surely you have plenty of pressing matters to attend to.
Answer. That is exactly why I came. After all, the principal figure in this whole affair is...
When did you start to doubt me?
When one is immersed in academic research, skepticism comes far more natural. I've had the same bad habit as you since the beginning, Mr. Ratio.
I must say, I'm quite honored, Mr. Screwlam. But do explain, why opt for...
For curiosity's sake. Affirmation. I made the same decision as you.
Oh, and when?
Objectively speaking, aside from some minor spiritual trauma, no researchers were hurt in this attack, which never aligned with the annihilation logic. A third party saved them.
Had I not fortuitously acquired a spark of the phase flame and intervened in Duke Inferno's teleportation, those people would already be...
You are more candid than I...
But still behaving within your calculation. One last question, Screwlam. Genius though you are...
I cannot be sure and can only hypothesize. Helping the weak hints at the merciful instinct of a medical doctor, and pulling the strings from behind the curtain is akin to laying.
The ruler of planet Screwlum is indeed well versed in the human mind. It's a pity you're as much in the ivory. To stand aside and observe is the best treatment one can give. There is a disease called the path of erudition has neither reason nor logic. While geniuses wander among the stars, the ordinary can't even trace. But even a life marked by failure is a life worth living. It is only in moments of solitude and despair. I have a fastidious nature. I cannot stand fools, idiots, or imbeciles. Seeing them fills me with dread.
You wish to uproot the researchers' blind worship of geniuses.
I am only laying out my questions. As for the answers, the pursuit tinged with negativity is still pursuit, and it is capable of leading us to the right conclusion. For the masses of the mediocre,
You are indeed more like a medical doctor than a scholar.
As for the spark I leave behind,
I believe Asta will deal with it properly.
it is also a lesson I left for her. With that, I take my leave. I look for... A farce full of trivial concerns. Ultimately, they're just mediocre minds.